Good evening, Speedgaming fans, and welcome back to Game 2 of this Best of 3 series between Zeb and derb. I am DJ Webb, trying to do my best to, match the very high standard that Hockey Towner put forth in the last game, and I am joined by MM2 once again. How you doing?
I'm doing well, DJ. I have every bit of faith that you will live up to hockey's standard in commentary skill. But yeah, looking forward to game two, Zeb316 versus TG Derp. This is lower bracket semifinals. The winner of this will play a real cutie, and then the winner of that match will play Sloters in a best of three in the grand finals. And of course, there'll be the bracket reset if the lower bracket person manages to take the first best of three versus Sloters. But yeah, should be a really good race. First race was a really nice one. Got to see a lot of fairly similar routing, but then derb checking in a few extra things near the end of the race. Um, Almost caught him back up, but Deb just blazing on, doing what he's best at, and took the win in the first game. So we'll see if he can repeat the feat or if Derp will force a game three.
Yeah, lots of interesting places, especially early on, where derb did some different things that could have mattered and then ended up not mattering. Like, those early supers that he found in Alpha Power Bombs, those didn't matter at all. Checking that portal down at Meridian map could have mattered. It also, a big contention point in the routing at the end of the race was, Wreck Ship versus Green Brand and Meridia. That could have helped him make a different decision. He obviously made a very conscious decision and a fine decision, but Varia being where it was, you would have liked to gone the other way, probably. But yeah, we'll see how these runners fare. Derp went down the elevator as he passed it.
Yeah, I think that was Derp went down the elevator. Zeb decided to check the right side of the room first, make sure there weren't any hidden items there this go around. But and Derp having a little bit of shambles, and Zeb catches all the way back up now.
Yeah, he does that room similar to the people I see doing it that way with the shooting down from the top are Behemoth and Kip. Most people do what Zeb did, which is crouch angle down shot, but
yeah, it's the no angle down strat. So like he does it. Everybody else who doesn't have angle down does it. Like PBB, Idle Child, a couple other people. Just like if you don't have angle down, it's a really solid strat. I think it's like comparable in time to the like quote unquote normal strat, but it's not bad at all.
yeah, and we have quite a different start here. The morph ball was the same; the other three items were not. We have bombs and double missiles, so we are not going left to morph ball. Those are power bomb blocks, and we're gonna have to search out some of the more powerful miners potentially.
Yeah, so morph bombs, you're definitely checking old mother brain. You can make an argument to check 230 here. There's because like a PB or a super is absolutely just massive, and there's so many areas where having that matters quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of them check 230, especially with having a third missile pack here at Old Mother Brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say third missile, like skipping it is kind of living life on the edge. If you got one, if it wasn't a missile, you can make arguments depending on which one it was, but. Yeah, we'll see. And back to the old climb. We saw this as well last race. Derp, once again, quite a bit cleaner on this climb. It looks to me like despite both doing the wall jump climb, they're doing it a little bit differently. I can't tell what exactly that difference is, but
I think Derp is just doing it with cleaner wall jumps, and just is faster at it. Like, could also be because he's kind of more of a vanilla runner. I think Derp has a better any percent PB than Zeb does. And I know Derp has like a really solid GT Classic time, and so yeah, like Derp has the vanilla practice of climb. Zeb like kind of a bit less so. Like he definitely hasn't spent time like spent a lot of time grinding climb. But like definitely like he has enough to make it work, and that's like kind of what you want in Rando is like. You don't need like a 12-second climb, but like as long as you can do it like under 15 seconds, that's like solid. at this level of rando if you're going to be a rando main.
Yeah, derp showing off a false derp of randomizer. So like having bombs is what triggers the fight, and you saw that because we just picked up this E-tank. I'm not sure if he was just doing this for fun. Like seeing BT up there is kind of silly and cool, and I appreciate it. But I don't know what you weren't picking up there.
I think it was just the funny is why derp was doing it, but it definitely entertained me. Seeing BT standing on that E-tank. Yeah, also derp using a power bomb there. I don't know if I would have done that. You could also make the call to do Gauntlet on this with 5 power bombs. It's a bit slow, but it gets you the major and gets you the 2 minors. Hopefully you can find a super there and then you complete your minor kit. So we'll see if Zeb makes that call. Looks like he won't.
Yeah, definitely not a wrong call either way. Zeb did use a bomb but jumped off of it, so they both probably spent about the same time in there as we found a inverted green Bryn transition.
Yeah, green Bryn on the other side of West Criteria. You could also say that it was inverted if you found it like Moat Portal. There's so many ways to call something French vanilla. Just something to say.
That was an interesting sequence of events here. We found this. Now, the bad thing about this, as you're about to see right now, is that there's a green door right there. So, we are hoping that there's a super here, but otherwise, this is a much, less effective play than it most of the time is. And also, as Zeb once again runs past an elevator for fun. Those are also super blocks. So, honestly, despite this kind of being like a very, very standard play, and you were pretty likely to get a super here, there was an argument for not doing this right now, actually.
Yeah, I mean, see Business Center, do Business Center. Like, they're gonna do it. There's so many good things you can get out of doing it, including a super, the 2 majors, or up to 2, I guess, in this scenario. But they do find the super, so they are gonna be doing ice in all likelihood, and then doing the right portal and then Green Bryn Star. So, yeah, pretty straightforward early game for these runners. Since I wager they're pretty confident that the other person is doing exactly what they're doing right now.
Well,
yeah,
I would say yes until derp went in the save room, because I'm not confident Zeb will do that.
That is true. Yeah, I don't know if Zeb will do that. And yeah, but yeah, derp does have full health, so he should be fine. Unless he has like major shambles, but he should be fine, surely.
There are things that can go wrong on this one, especially because there is lava in one of these rooms, which the damage stacks with the heat damage. So without a suit, you are taking a lot of damage. And wow, that's a reward.
Yeah, that sure is a reward. Yeah, technically there's lava in all of these rooms, but it only matters in the Tripper's room. But yeah, Varia suit, great item. Pretty sure they're still going to go up and go check the portal and do Green Bryn Star, just because it's Green Bryn. And Pre-Cathedral, even with Varia, just isn't great. Derp having a bit of issues with Ice Escape, didn't manage to land it. Let's see if Zeb can do one better.
It would switch the lead almost if he can make it through. Yeah. Tightened right back up.
Yeah, Derp just bleeding a couple seconds there. Now Zeb just only like 2 seconds behind. So really tight early game. But
I would say one of the bigger things against staying in Norfair is their ammo count right now. Like if you are progressing further into the seed and you might come up to like bosses, for example, you don't want to face most of them on 25.5. Well, I guess there's 2 of them that you don't want to face on 25.5. So you'd rather have 30 20 20, which is maybe what you're going to come out of Green Bryn with.
Yeah, like Green Bryn, in addition to having the 4 major checks plus Waterway, it also has just a buttload of ammo checks that you can do, and obviously no charge yet, so they're just going to be doing pretty much all of them, except for like 2. 3 actually. I can't count, but yeah, there's just like so many good things you can get from Greenbrand. There's only 2 other portals in Greenbrand, so it's kind of hard to get back to from somewhere else. And then you can also, there's 2 portals here, so you can go somewhere else from here and like find Red Tower or rest of Upper Norfair or stuff like that. So it's a great place to be.
This seed is it's giving us the goods early. I guess technically High Jump was also semi-early last seed, depending on the availability of a second Power Bomb pack. But we're under 10 minutes. We got Varia, we got High Jump, we got bombs. Those are nice. You know, this is a nice little start here.
Yeah, definitely. Like this is a happy start. You're happy like with how this is going. Like I don't think the runners have much to complain about. You got the super when you wanted it. Yeah. Okay, actually, 3 missiles here. Was Under the Bridge a missile too?
I do not know, but we're about to find out.
No, okay, it was a super. Yeah. Yeah. 1 super is pretty good. 3 missiles, nothing to write home about, but you're gonna pick them up. If you're these runners, just because ammo is ammo. And you need a bunch of it to beat the game if you don't find charge.
Yeah. Good thing for the design of the game. This was definitely intentional. They foresaw 30 years into the future we'd be playing Rando, and that exact room having a power bomb refill would be clutch. So thank you, Dear Force.
Yep, thank you, Dear Force. But yeah, there's the second power bomb pack. So 1 more and you're good for pretty much everything that you like realistically need. With Varia, like if you got a Crystal Flasher set. Yeah, still really tight race. Zeb made up a couple like a second since entering Greenbrand. Ooh, that was a really nice backup for derb. I don't know if that was intentional, but he wall jumped a bit high, bonked his head on the ceiling while on morph, and then managed to unmorph and land on the second from the top platform, which is a really nice backup. He could have ended up falling down a couple platforms and losing a lot more time, but really nicely done from derb.
Yeah. And it was funny in the I don't know what that room is called, like down the green elevator, but like Zeb entered the door first, but the door was really bad, so derb actually went through the door first. So yeah, these runners are tight, and like you said, a little bit more vanilla experience on derp's end. I know that Zeb knows how to do door fixes, but definitely didn't fix that one optimally.
Yeah, decent door, as they say, but yeah, now Zeb taking the lead now. With a little bit of better Big Pink, opening the Wave Gate door while getting the Mission Impossible Miner. We got a screw attack here.
We are pretty set for Lower Norfair. The only thing we're not doing with this loadout is the reverse acid dive, but probably not really thinking about that right now. So this is nice. Like I said, the ammo's gotten better. Not quite the 30-20-20 I was presuming, but blame the seed for giving us too many missiles.
Yeah. Shots to the seed. But yeah, the only thing you're worried about in LN is like potentially reverse acid dive and then also the bosses. Because you don't have a Crystal Flash to do CF Dragon, and you don't have the ammo for Ridley. So yeah, really just not happening, but
they're sneaking close to Ridley ammo.
Yeah, like we're getting closer. If you find a backup Ellen, you could probably like muster up the ammo to do Ridley if you really need to, but it would suck. And you'd probably have to use a bunch of power bombs. There's super. That's massive.
With power bombs, I think that's probably barely enough. I'm not doing all of the math right now, but it feels close.
Yeah, you've got gosh, now I'm doing math. 2,000 damage. Yeah.
To all the hopeful commentators out there, never do math live on stream. You'll get it wrong.
You'll get it wrong. But I think it's you have to do 2,000 damage in power bombs. So if you double hit all your power bombs and hit every single piece of ammo, you could do Ridley, but it sucks. But yeah, like you have to hit everything.
And you can see that potentially knowing that Zeb is preparing for that, and Derp is like, I don't want to do Ridley right now, so I'm just gonna go in there, and you can see the time state that is incurred. We have yeah, as Chad is pointing out, back-to-back seats, vanilla Kraid.
Indeed, and nice Kraid quick kill for Derp. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong on my math. DJ's right. Don't do math live on stream. You got it wrong. Yeah, you only have to double. You have to get 10 power on hits total, which is 5 double hits or 10 single hits or something like that, and then hit all your ammo. So.
And there are times when we see this where we're like, we don't know what the boss is, so they're gonna have to prepare for Ridley. And like usually in those situations, like the person who did prepare for Ridley, it's like, well, they lost the time here, but they're gonna make it back later. I don't think that's the case here. Like Derp's ammo isn't low enough for that to have mattered. So that was, playing it safe on Zeb's end, costing, I don't know, 20-30 seconds.
Yeah, very much like could be that way, but like you're saying, Zeb does have the like he will have a couple extra supers coming out of Kraid, so it's like it's not the end of the world, but it is a lead for Derp for sure.
Yeah, we got the double tank Kraid. Given that we already had Varia, it's not terrible, but honestly, with Varia, that's what makes the E-tanks not as valuable as they otherwise could have been. You could definitely have seen a skip from either runner for either of these tanks, but they both Derp liked to get them both. We'll see. I think Zeb will as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, even if you've got Varia and, like, stuff like Screw Attack, E-tanks are still pretty valuable, not just because of reverse acid dive, because, like, you're doing deboosts everywhere, you're taking damage everywhere. It's like, sure, you're taking a fanfare too, but it's like, it's gonna help you. It does, like, especially with Varia no gravity right now. It's not worthless. It is an investment, but generally it's one that will pay off. If you have 2 suits, then maybe it's not, but I think it's definitely fine to pick them both up.
Yeah, here especially is where I would like to see him, like check that X-ray item if it's an E-tank or a reserve tank, don't go through that and put yourself through the maze. The other places you were pretty much right next to the item already.
Oh, that was a really tight last deboost for Derp, I thought. I was scared. There's charge.
Derp doesn't listen to me, but gets rewarded with charge. Another early charge seed. This is uncommon, relatively speaking.
Yeah, a lot of the time they'll just see like charge never or charge really late and somebody hunts for it, but yeah, these runners just playing as if charge doesn't exist until it shows up, which is, I think, a really solid way to play this mode. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we have a decision to make. Most of the time, people make exactly one decision, but you do have to go up or down red tower. The benefit of down is a major and an extra portal comparatively. So, like I said, that's why almost every time you see this play, but middle red tower is the more awkward of it's the one place you'd rather not come into red tower first, just because you actually have to make a decision.
Yeah. And like you say, it's kind of like you just go down, but it's also really nice to have middle of red tower out of the way and done, because it's one of the more awkward portals in the game to go to and route in if you don't get spat out there sometime. And also Derp finds space jump there at Spazer. Zeb will very likely be close behind.
Yeah, close behind, but like we've been saying, Derp has been moving just a little bit better overall, and the time loss in the Kraid area isn't a boon in Zeb's favor. So probably they're not gonna completely stay exactly on each other's toes for the entirety of the seed, but at this point, Derp's doing well.
Yeah, okay, so we've got Croc here at middle of red tower. I think a really solid play here would be to just do first item and bail. First item's like really quick. It's only like 30, 45 seconds, something like that. But then second item is comparable to like bowling. So you can just bail right here, go to your other 2 portals, and then be really sad if your second item is gravity. Just never get it, but you've got a couple good things for suitless. If you can underwater wall jump and you end up having Dragon dead, you can do that. So really really solid situation to be in if you're thinking about suitless right now.
I don't think derp was losing time yet to not going back, but I was gonna say if you were leaving after first item, I would think you would have come back sooner.
Yeah.
And yeah, derp isn't leaving. I kind of thought that was what he was signaling.
Yeah, derp, evidently just doing both items at Croc. It is also worth pointing out, like chat points out, you could just leave both items at Croc and try to keep your ammo up for a Ridley, but...
Well, you didn't need to use ammo on Croc, as we saw last race. You were commenting on that when Zeb didn't use any of his supers and derp used pretty much all of them. But
that is true. Yeah, with the charge, they could have just elected to use most/all charge shots. There's a power bomb. Really nice. That's your 3rd power bomb. Gets you Metroids and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, you actually pointed this out last seed, I think maybe, but with how not quick these minor checks are when you don't have movement items. We have movement items this time, so derp is checking at least the power bomb location. I think did you want a super more than a power bomb? Probably, but you're gonna be happy with that 3rd one for sure.
Yeah, now you definitely want a super more than a power bomb, but like 3rd power bomb's pretty good. Also surprised derp gate glitch there with space jump.
Yeah,
Vanilla grapple, not what he really wanted, but it's okay. It's a pretty good item. I like grapple, but
I mean,
derp likes it as much as I do.
It's better in boss rando than not, right? Like, if Dragon is the next boss we find, Zeb is hard pressed to do that right now, right? Like, he's not, capable of crystal flashing. Doesn't have spring ball yet. That's the other way out of there with, high jump to do a double spring ball. So, yeah, not the greatest thing, like you said, but not terrible by any means.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's not nothing, but it's not gravity. But yeah, like you're on about Dragon. If Dragon is the next boss and Zeb doesn't find a great way out, Dragon, never mind. I'll just stop talking now.
There's a great way out. You foretold it as it was destined to be. That's an interesting spot to be in. When Chad cries about a jet seed because we're at almost go mode at 22 minutes. They're like, wow, free seed, whatever. Like, the free seeds are actually the hard ones because, like, what do you actually do from here? Like, if you're Zeb, you would like ice, you would like speed, you would like another power bomb pack, but you don't need anything if you find Dragon not a Meridian, right? So what do you actually do? It's not easy to know.
Yeah, and also you have all this missing portal knowledge and stuff. So it's like, how do you route this? Which portals do you go to? Which portals do you prioritize? Derp's doing West Meridia with his grapple. So, like, this is... I don't want to say it's over, but it's very advantaged up, for sure.
That map portal being in Upper Norfair is actually probably really good for derp if if Main Street is nothing. Because he gets back to Norfair and we know that's where he needs to be.
Yeah, so...
And it is kind of nothing. I would call that nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, if Zeb turns around here, I think Zeb turning around here is probably correct, because you don't want to leave the last West Meridian portal, and you can also go back to Upper Norfair or something like that. Yeah, like, for derp, I don't think doing Turtle is all that wrong, but I think you want to do Pre-Aqueduct first.
Yeah, I actually very much thought that with that grapple he just got, he was going right, but he proved me wrong. He was going down. He wanted this major. Hopefully it wasn't, the gambler's fallacy of I should have checked this early last seed and it would have won me, so I'm gonna come here now. But
yeah, surely it'll work this time.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna say the most controversial thing I've ever said, and that Zeb baiting people into thinking this play is so good, just won him a race. Because like I think a few months ago, like no one comes down here, right? And now it's like if you don't, you're losing time to your opponent who did. Except in this case, where you're actually losing time to your opponent who
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, you could also make the argument that Zeb playing a lot of races with other people ended up developing the meta a fair bit more, and then people are making more intelligent decisions, and this one just making that other decision ended up being correct. So, I mean, and it's also like Zeb had reason to skip West Meridia because he had Upper Norfair available, and he didn't have a good item to do all the West Meridia portals, so he did Upper Norfair and happened to find the Gravity Suit. So it's like, it's all layers. There's a lot of layers in each of these decisions. So yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly a tongue-in-cheek analysis. I do want to point that out, but
Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
You have an interesting observation from chat that like we're saying, this is pretty advantage for Zeb right now. The way that completely turns on its head is if Turian's over here, but that's, I don't know, it's like 1 in 7 probably or something like that.
It's not great, but it's possible. We'll see. And then, of course, this could just be like a billion other portals that Terps wants to follow, but
that's not great.
Your Ridley is so bad. Your Ridley's just so terrible if you're doing that.
I'm interested in what those 2 supers were for, but he was farming because he wanted to farm. Oh, good. It's going back MM2.
Oh, is it?
That's why he's farming. Why else are you farming?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think you do Bubble Mountain here. Like, because, like, what else are you doing? Are you going around to Business Center and doing Rexship from the front? Well, where are you getting your supers? Are you just re-farming that? Oh, okay. I guess he is going to do Rexship from the front. Or something. But yeah, this is kind of beyond over.
The points against this are you're unlikely to get more than 1 item out of this play because it has to be vanilla Fantoon for that to be the case. B, if what you're looking for isn't over here, you're coming right back and you just made your trip to Bubble Mountain a lot longer. And C, it's the wrong play, obviously.
Yeah, just go to where the items are.
Unfortunate here for derb, but we were saying earlier, right, that Zeb needed to not be trailing derb's heels, and Croc skip may or may not have been that thing, but this was definitely the thing. I mean, he literally did 1 item in Bubble Mountain, right? Like, go where the items are.
Yeah, just go where the items are. Well, I highly doubt Zeb would have skipped everything else if he didn't find gravity right there. But I trust Zeb to make intelligent decisions.
Speaking of intelligent decisions, I think I'd be using missiles and charge here and not power bombs, but that doesn't mean this isn't intelligent. Maybe it means I'm not intelligent. Frankly.
It's like, it's okay, but just don't want to like completely drain your missiles and your supers, but power bombs are slow. That much is true.
And he also knew exactly what he needed to do for a Ridley fight here, potentially. So, I'm just looking at where he is, and I'm like, I don't like power bombs that aren't at the beginning. That's like the beginning and the end of my analysis.
Yeah, but Zeb having the Ridley in Lower Norfolk was able to prepare fairly well with the farmer right beforehand.
That he was, and like, chat's talking about what's going on here as far as Derp's situation, relative to the isolated nature of not seeing everything that we're seeing, and like, it kind of looks like things are working out here because if your opponent skipped that grapple beam and they also came here, and now you have a Dragon that they couldn't get out of. It's looking rosy, but that is not the case.
Yeah, it's all sunshine and roses until your opponent finishes and you're not even in Turian.
Yes,
Which,
indeed.
yeah, the rude awakening. But yeah, um, yeah, derp gets his Dragon done with a quick grapple. Is gonna, yeah, he just wants these drops.
Yeah, we'll see if there could be a good item here. It's not. It's an E-tank.
Yeah, and Zeb surely will do back of LN here, because for him, it can be Bacharach ship, East Meridia, Top Red Tower, East Criteria, or Turian, all of which are good places to be, except for like Turian, and Turian knowledge is still important. So,
Well, East Meridia is not the greatest place to be, but it's a place to be. You know, I would say that the one thing about that Bubble Mountain play was that leaving with gravity. I think that's fine, and I think a lot of people make that decision. But you are definitely bomb crystal flashing through East Meridia right now, especially because we just saw the wrecked ship Dragon. So
this
Zeb not have
grapple
it
jump
done?
is
But
rough for Derp.
yeah, I can't tell what he's doing wrong. Other
Okay,
than
yeah, resorts to double bounce and he gets it. Nice.
he was doing the thing that I've heard a lot of people don't like, which is doing it from the top. You definitely don't have to do it from the top portion of the turret. You can do it from the bottom. How much difference that makes, I couldn't tell you, but
Yeah, I just know it makes it harder for me, but that's just me. But yeah, we'll see what this portal is for Zeb. Gonna check this ammo first. It's a super, so picking it up for sure. Zeb probably just like gonna play this like normal ammo for the most part, except maybe a bit more aggressive since he has that charge. And
I
then
think
just
I would
like,
skip missiles as a hedge on like any single other beam. But otherwise, yeah, supers are just too good. And Chad was asking if he skipped Firefly. It was a reserve tank, so he didn't skip the check. Whether or not he skipped the item,
yeah,
I think
he did
actually
skip
pick up the reserve.
Yeah. He did not pick up the reserve, but finds top row tower at back of LN, so is going to be free of any like complete ownage, but is also finding turning here, so he gets his turning knowledge and now can go other places.
Do you see the end of this map? Both East Meridias are East Criteria.
Oh yeah, that is correct. So I guess we're going to like shoot. How are we getting back? Are we seriously going through Green Brinstar? I guess you can go down Red Tower into Upper Norfair and then Upper Norfair into like doing Rex Ship, and then you can go to East Criteria and do your East Meridia. But yeah, that's silly.
Yeah, I mean, in this exact map, it basically makes East Meridia a dead end, right? Like that's just kind of how it works out.
Yeah, that kind of just is how it is.
There have been. Was it? There was a race earlier this tournament where both business center portals were front and back erect ship. I think Seb played that one.
That was me and Aussie game 2.
Oh, that was you and Aussie. Yeah. Okay, it was that one. Yeah, and like that
and
was
Aussie
like really,
didn't check
silly.
business center portals and ended up getting owned for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where like it's really, really weird. Like sometimes those like two portal areas are dead ends because there's a literal dead end at the other one, and sometimes it happens like this, and we're gonna see these other business center majors as well as some minors. There's a fifth power bomb, but yeah, derp doing the checks in the order that you would do them if you came from the Cathedral Hall run. Without the hell, it was just a run.
Yeah, I guess this is like an actual reason you could say heck run. is hell runs with Varia suit. New terminology, gamers. Just developed.
So we found a spring ball. It's gonna make this gravity feel much, much worse. I mean, I think probably if you're derping, you see the much cleaner path to it. You already feel bad, but
yeah,
the spring ball that you just got potentially helping. you know, a non-gravity seed is also like, well, man, what am I doing here?
Yeah, just like you just find the gravity and you're like, it's over. And it really sucks, especially being down a game for derp. Like, you know, this is probably the end of your tournament, and it sucks. But what can you do? It's rando. Sometimes just don't go your way.
That is indeed true. We are having yeah. This was, I think it was you who called out this path. It wasn't someone in chat, but yeah, you come into Norfair, you can do this wreck ship here, quick in and out, and then you just have to make your way to Criteria, which is
Yeah.
the other side of the business center.
Yeah.
Then you gotta come back.
Yeah, then you have to make your way back to Red Tower, which is it sucks to just like be like, yeah, the fastest path is run across Criteria, then run across Green Bryn, then climb Red Tower. But like, what else are you gonna do? I guess meme route up West Meridia, then climb Red Tower. But there's like just a bunch of different paths you have to consider, and they all suck. There's no obvious one path, which is kind of the beauty of area randos. There's so many different routing decisions to make. It's great.
Yeah, the question is how far apart can Criteria and Red Tower really be? And the answer is surprisingly quite far. As we see a nice space jump Red Tower climb, one of my favorites. Unfortunately, the space jump actually robbed us of the you know, down grab climb with the high jump boots. That's even cooler in my opinion. But
Yeah, down grab climb is sick. I've never mastered it. I've done it a couple times, but never going to go for it on purpose. Derb is going to be able to do back-to-back LN since he's going, since he's doing Red Tower, like, going up. So to find this Turian, then do back-to-back LN, probably. But Zeb at this point will just be up a boss, so very, very much pretty over.
yeah, I don't. He hasn't seen front of Ellen, right?
Derp? No, I don't think he has actually.
Yeah, which is because I was gonna say I think doing this, like if you were just gonna do back to back, you actually didn't need to do this now. But I think he did need to do this now because he kind of wants to go to the front.
Yeah, like Derp wants to go to the front because that will finish off this portal knowledge, and like especially now that he knows Turian is top Red Tower, so he knows he won't get dead ended at the front of LN. So he can do that, and then he can figure out his East Criteria and East Meridian mess, which he will have to. Yeah, also worth noting, they both have Dragon dead now, so they can do East Meridian from the back and not have to kill Bosswood and worry about a CF clip. So that
Yes, indeed.
that issue will be solved for them.
So, I think what you said is true. You definitely hope you guess right on, you know, or it's really not a guess. You just hope the first East Meridian portal you check is the back, but
Yeah,
probably you still go around regardless if it's not.
yeah. You're definitely not killing Bosswood without Icer Speed because CF clip is going to be so slow, and Bosswood is slow and drains your ammo and sucks. But yeah, one way or another, you probably just want to find the back.
Oh, I forgot Zeb doesn't know this. Funnily enough.
Oh yeah, Zeb doesn't know this. So yeah, neither of the runners knows the East Criteria has East Meridia. But that is the case in this scene.
It's one of those things. It's kind of a clerical point at this juncture of the race. It doesn't really matter that this is, you know, what happens in the race because of the discrepancies in ordering, but you know, it's a weird little thing. And yeah, we might see a funny smirk here from Zeb. He definitely had one of those last race when it was Croc door to Chronic Boost.
Yeah, intra-area connections are always funny because they like never happen until they do. So it's like, OMG, the area is connected. But yeah, I'm sure Zeb knows the map now and is gonna head over to East Criteria and do his last boss.
So yeah, the final frontier for both of our runners is this East Meridia, and as you can see, Zeb is in Criteria, which leads to it. Zeb or Derp has to escape from Lower Norfair, and we presume he's going out the front. And that's going to take you to Meridia, and Meridia to Criteria does exist. So actually,
Yeah.
it's not super terrible, but it's still, I mean, it's still several minutes, like
Yeah.
2-3 at least.
Yeah, Zeb is most certainly ahead here. That's for sure. That's for I said sure and certain at the same time. What am I doing?
Sometimes you just need to, protrude the amount of sure that you are, the clarity of it all. It makes things different. As Zeb maybe doesn't, he definitely didn't want a ship refill because it's slow, but he also doesn't want to have 0 supers right now.
Yeah, maybe you do ship refill just because 0 supers is a terrible spot to be in. Though he is gonna go through Cack Alley, in all likelihood here, so he will get at least a couple supers.
Yeah, I'm actually interested here. Yeah, there were arguments for both sand pits, but Nitro actually was pointing out in chat, if you find the front first, maybe you just do a sand pit for a beam. And,
yeah, like Ice
all
Speeder.
Of the beams are good outcomes here. And yeah, one of the Zeb skips is also good. But it was as bad as it could have possibly been. Good grief, sand pit. Why'd you be vanilla?
SMH sand pit.
And we are actually...
Oh, so Zeb is just gonna go out here and...
Oh, he's farming.
Is he farming and then gonna go back?
But he doesn't need to farm. There's... What is...
I think Zeb is gonna go out the... Okay, he realizes his mistake. Yeah, what he wants to do is to go up the toilet. Oh, he needed a super for toilet. Yeah, he needed a super. Okay, no, Zeb is just smarter than all of us.
Yeah, I knew that the top of it was a green door. I guess I should have also definitely known that this one was also green.
I knew that this one was green. I just chose not to use my brain.
Yeah, it's not the most common thing to see down the up. Unless you've been watching the Hundo tournament going on, which is sick. Because I guess you do down to up there, don't you?
Yeah, in Mappa you do up to down, then down to up later. Shouts to Mappa. I have to say it, I'm contractually obliged to, but yeah. Zeb going through Cack Alley. Probably wants one more super here just for safety. Because you want 2 to get into Fantoon, then the 1 for the fight. And then what if you miss?
It's the boon of this being Fantoon. You don't need supers. You actually don't want to use them in a fight.
Yeah, until you do. Or in, like, 2032 when the strat is to go for Magic Frame.
Don't exactly know where Derp is going. Yeah, he realized it. You wanted to go down, not up here.
Yeah. Derp's having some shambles. But yeah, Zeb just a million years ahead. Nice first try gate glitch. Derp the gate glitch master of this tournament. I swear, like
he's like He's one of the few people I see where, like, most people, you know, like, you go into that first one kind of, you know, free willy, and then if you miss it, you just kind of go for, you know, your setup. Derp, like, he runs to the gate, and then he moonwalks his little pixels, and then he does the gate glitch every time.
Yeah. Like, I swear, like, Derp has not missed a gate glitch this tournament. He probably has, and I just can't remember it, but he's consistent. He's a gamer.
It also appears that Derp didn't want to do meme route up, so he actually came down here into Norfair to go to Criteria. I don't know if it was faster. I also don't know if it was slower. Because it was meme route at Main Street.
Yeah,
they both have an elevator transition, so that's a wash.
Yep.
Into East Meridia for Derp, and out of it for Zeb. Wow, where were the beams?
Probably like top wreck ship.
What if the other
plasma.
4 beams were all 4 of the wreck ship items? That would be funny.
That would be funny, indeed.
Yeah, the way that they played the siege, you were never gonna visit wreck ship with it turned on. So say goodbye to those 4 items. One of which you can't actually get without speed boosters. And we're even seeing this this aqueduct. I'm not in the know time-wise on, like, you know, how much better supers are than your charge beam, even with the fanfare, and I'm especially not up to, you know, speed on missiles. But one of those is a power bomb, so I'm gonna chalk that checklist in the not worth pile.
Yeah, supers are sick. Missiles are like okay, but like once you get any beam, missiles start being not worth.
It's just that exact check was pretty long. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, he literally wanted to check that miner. That's kind of funny, honestly. Definitely not something I would have ever thought of, though.
Yeah. Oh. I was like, wait, did Derp go down right sandpit and we get to talk about sandpit differences? No, Zeb just went into moat to check that miner. You are right. But yeah,
now he's
Zeb
doing gauntlet as well, which is
I think Zeb is just playing this as if his charge beam doesn't exist, which is like, well, there's a beam. That's kind of good. But yeah, now Zeb just needs to make his way to oh, he missed a super. No,
he didn't need. He's got 50-50 in plasma. He didn't need a super.
Okay, he didn't need it. He probably wouldn't have picked it up, but it still feels bad to just miss the one. But yeah, it looks like he's just gonna run for Green Brand and then go up Red Tower.
Yeah, funny in-game routing on this one, just because of how far away the East Meridian was from the rest of the seed, and, like, you know, you really couldn't have done it any other time, right? Like, 'cause you needed the gravity, which was in Norfair, which is where the rest of the seed is. Criteria is just over here. It's on its own, you know, being the outcast at the party. You know, everyone's on the dance floor.
Yeah, Criteria really isolated in the seed, like Business Center with the other being front wreck ship, and then top of Green Brennan and the 2 East Meridian portals. Then meme route just doesn't exist, honestly.
It exists at exactly one point in the seed. Unless it's a dead end, that exists a second time when you come back to it.
Oh yeah, or if you don't get to check it early. But yeah, meme route exists for the first 3 minutes of the seed and then never again. Unless you really need it.
Or, you know, I mean, this seed we both kind of thought derb should have done it, but yeah, as far as being isolated from the seed, that's not part of it, you know. We're just poking fun, but yeah, nice space jump climb once again. Zeb absolutely killed the back half of this seed.
Yeah,
maybe back
sure.
2/3. Not even sure if I called out halfway when he really started.
I think he just killed the whole seed. I'm in the Zeb fan club, but not that I'm not in the derb fan club. Derb's also a sick runner, but Zeb's just a gamer.
You're going to see some Powerbomb Metroid runes, which we didn't get to see last seed. And yeah, that's all that stands between Zeb and a pretty quick 2-0 victory. Like, these were some pretty quick seeds, you know. I mean, early charge in both of them. Both suits were pretty early in this one. Obviously, the gravity was pretty kind of mid game last seed, but you know, it kind of played fast toward the end of it. So no hardships really for Zeb in this one.
Yeah, I think Zeb's doing the Sustreme PB Metroid strats, which Sustreme developed for low speed and then taught like Zeb and Prof, and then a couple other people like me decided to learn them too because they're really nice. They conserve health really well, which is the goal for low speed. And yeah, you should really want to have really good you want to have good PB strats for Metroids if you're doing rando. This is a bit different from. Oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Sustreme lays the power bomb really early in Metroid 3, but laying it a bit later is really consistent. Because the goal is to hit the Rinka spawner, so you hit all the Metroids once and draw them over. But laying it earlier, you just have to do it a bit differently, and it's a bit less consistent. But Zeb doing it really nicely.
They're following suit and doing this, you know, very, very late game. Calling the play for this plasma pickup.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. Gauntlet's one of those checks where it's like, most of the time it's like, it's kind of slow and I don't want to do it, but when it's the end game and you've already done, you know, the other stuff, so you're not even turning back for Terminator, and you have speed and space jump, is derb shows us how quick drops are done, by the way. That was quick.
Yep. Those sure were some quick drops.
The calculus changes, especially when you're in a charge beam only. And, any beam was good, plasma beam was great.
Yeah. Second jump timing is a bit different with high jump only, dirt, and Zeb just a bit late on it. But that is how it be.
Sorry, my phone is going off if you're hearing that.
I didn't.
Oh, that's good. In theory, my mic was pointed the opposite way, so you shouldn't hear, but that doesn't always necessarily matter. But yeah.
You always pick up stuff you don't want to hear. Yeah, Zeb with no Zeb skip. Definitely, like, very appreciative of the plasma beam or the extra ammo and stuff. So, we'll be happy with his kit here, but I feel like he's losing just because he spent so much time looking for ammo and beams and stuff.
Yeah. Rare to see, you know, could have Zeb skipped last seed, but didn't. He actually, 2 races out of 2, no Zeb skip for Zeb. I think he's trying to send a message. Only everyone else needs to skip Zeb, but being Zeb, don't have to. I think that's the message here.
Yeah, Zeb showing us how to not skip himself.
For all of the routing shambles that Dirk had, he is still going to be in Turian when this race finishes, which is no small feat.
Indeed. Yeah, assuming no solar flares for Zeb and no MB2 catastrophes, he will be moving on in a 2-0 victory to face a real cutie in the losers bracket finals. Then, winner of that will face Sloters27 in the grand finals. Sloters27 being in the winner's bracket will mean that she's up a set in grand finals, so the loser bracket winner will have to take 2 best of 3s over Sloters, whereas Sloters will only need to win 1. So it'll be a really exciting finale to this tournament.
I'm gonna put some social pressure on whoever makes it to grand finals to schedule the first set Saturday, so if there's a reset we can get the finals on Sunday, but you're probably not gonna listen to me. But make that happen.
Well, I'm gonna bully whoever. I'm gonna bully losers finals into scheduling this week before Saturday, so we can finish the tournament on time.
Derb leaves a power bomb drop in the fourth room. I think Zeb definitely got one in some room, but we were not in a position to need power bomb drops in this terrain.
They're managing to get it down to 11 health before the baby, but does face right. So
All according to plan.
All according to plan. Calculated.
Just like getting stuck in between those brambles and morphing out of it. According to plan. The Mother Brain 3 has exited stage right. Or stage bottom.
I'd say I'd say
door.
upstage center. Just doing the evaporation animation.
Yeah, she was one of the 50%. Thanos' snap got her.
Yeah. Thanos doing her best Thanos impression.
I mean, maybe Samus is a daughter of Thanos, right? Like, she's out here destroying planets for the fun of it. We need to start a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, so far today we've destroyed 2 planets. Zeb about to finish destroying a 3rd. So, I mean, we're on a roll here.
Oh yeah. And to finish out my extremely silly metaphor that's going to get this race copyright striked, honestly, a bounty hunter is exactly the kind of person that Thanos would want to employ. Like, Samus is like #1 target.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, fully upgraded power suit. Like, who's messing with that army? I don't know who is.
I mean, yeah. Full power Samus, like, you know she's powerful because she, like, feels powerful, which I think is, like, the beauty of Super Metroid. Is it feels good to play the game, and I love that. But yeah, get your GGs in chat for Zeb316, who will be finishing with an official race time at GG time of 57 minutes, 57 seconds, taking the series 2-0, and we'll move on to face a real cutie in the losers finals. GG.
Yep. Good job from Zeb. He was definitely not looking to go down without a fight here in this tournament. Like you said, the 2 seed, so he does not want to be underperforming his seed as most people have thus far, as derb shows what happens when you try to damage boost off of Mother Brain. You take damage very quickly. It's quite effective.
Yeah, so, but we are joined by Zeb316. GG Zeb.
Yeah, GG.
Also derp stuff. GG derp.
GG's. That's it.
So that seed was felt really bad the entire time.
That seed was really bad the entire time, I think.
Do you want me to spoil where the items are, or should I let them come up on credits?
Go for it.
So, you've got Speed at Plasma. You've got
Solid.
Ice at Waterway.
Very solid.
You've got Spazer at Wreckship E. And you have Wave Beam at Wreckship Reserve. So those were the remaining beams and Zeb skips that you had. 2 of them were locked behind Speed, which was at Plasma. And then the last one was Wreckship E, which is locked behind Fantoon in East Meridia. Which Dragons in Wreckship for you to like get into East Meridia, like without having to do a CF clip or a CF clip.
Yeah, those are some item placements, that's for sure. Obviously, you know, the beams kind of mostly don't do anything logically, and it's not like this setting really cares about that, but they can be anywhere, so why do they have to be in bad places? You're right, it feels bad.
Yeah, I was thinking about it at the end. I felt so bad. I felt so bad about my routing too. When I got spit out, so I did Lore Warfare front to back there. And I got spit out, and then Torian's right there, and I'm looking at the map, and I'm like, oh god, like Torian's so far away from everything else.
Yeah.
And if you finish on Lore Warfare, then you're just saving so much time.
It's so hard to finish on Lower Warfare in the seed though. You have to.
I wasn't positive because I was thinking so basically I found that gravity, and then I went to Chronic Boost portal and checked that. I could have turned around and then gone to Rock portal instead. That's something that I was really thinking about doing. And if I had done that, then I am going into Wreckship, I do it. I end up going back across Crateria, then doing East Meridia, and then finishing on Lore Warfare. I was thinking about that route. So I was feeling really bad, because that would have been so much better of a route. And then on top of that, I skipped so many items. I was like, man, if any of those items were a beam and Derp just got a beam on me, then I'm just really dead. Because Derp wouldn't have to do the ammo checking and all of the major checking that I was doing anymore. Even a Spazer is enough to not have to do that.
Yeah, I ended up doing a lot of weird minor pickups. I skipped a lot of. Some of them were by accident, to be fair. I don't know why I skipped Hoda Ruby, for example, but I was kind of in a weird pattern of skipping and picking up minors. Because it was I want a beam, there's a bunch of majors in the way, I'll surely hit one. And it just didn't come until the very end.
Yeah, I was so, when I went into East Meridia, I was thinking, okay, if it's the back, I'm just going to follow it. And then it was the front, and I was like, and then I decided to go down left sandpit to go around instead of backing out to go through the back.
Yeah, I also
which
did
I
that.
think was better. But I also didn't have a super, so then I had to go back to the left because it wasn't a super there either. So that I could farm a super so that I could go back into the sandpits to go up there, and yeah, it all felt really, really bad.
It seems like we did basically the same thing in that seed, minus the weird West Meridia dive I did, which I don't really think ever rewards me with the portals that I knew.
Okay, but so that's what. So you did that finding it at the bottom of Red Tower, I'm guessing? So you found that at the bottom of Red Tower instead of going into Bubble Mountain, you did that?
Yeah, because I found Bubble Mountain and then saw that, and I was like, well, let's just see what happens. And I jumped down. Mama Turtle was nothing, and then the first portal was Meme Route. It's well, I'm kind of committed at this point. And then luckily the Crab portal wasn't exactly Turian. Because everything else I was fine. I could have Suitless CF clipped if I hit Front of East or something like that. So it wasn't there was exactly one terrible option. Everything else was at least playable. But I don't think any of them are good enough to make that play worth it over just going into Bubble Mountain normally.
Yeah.
Portal-wise, no. Item-wise, obviously Gravity, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, if Gravity's at Mama Turtle, then...
Yeah, I'm basically playing exactly like Gravity at Mama Turtle or like LN, and then Gravity's at Firefly or something. But those are really low percentage outcomes. I think the odds are just not good enough for that play to be worth it. Plus the like 1 in 12 chance that you just lose the game right there because my nearest save was like 15 minutes away.
You didn't croc save?
I did not. Not this one. I did.
So did you do second item croc then?
I did do second item croc.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was. I don't even remember what it was.
It was vanilla.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, it was grapple. Well, that made the suit list more attractive.
Yeah, we thought you might have been going right when you went down there with the grapple in hand, but not to be.
Yeah, I would have probably, if I'm going down there, I would probably go right so that you can save and check that portal.
That's probably better, but like I said, I still don't think that it's correct to go into West there.
Yeah, I think it's not, but like if you're doing it, then I think that like doing that would at least like be a lot safer.
Probably.
And like it gets you a portal right there too, which is nice. Which you probably would have followed, with the LN there.
I probably would have ended up like. Well, would I have reset Chronic Portal? I might have reset like after Croc was not something else to follow. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's also hard because like also for me, like I was really worried about going into that Lore and Warfare just because like if the backstory in there, it's so bad. It's just like really horrible. But like I didn't feel like I had any options. Like I felt like going back and trying to do something else other than going into Lore and Warfare when I found it was just way too bad. Like it was just too far away. So I just kind of felt like I was priced into doing it. At that point, I felt really bad about not having checked Croc Portal beforehand. Just to have a little more information.
Yeah,
I liked
with the portals was definitely because we knew stuff because you both had like filled in gaps for each other, and it was like at the time that we knew about the like East Meridia, East Criteria, like dead end essentially, you were both like checking stuff, and I was like, oh, they don't even know that, do they?
Yeah, I liked my play of not checking Croc Portal on my way through to Wreck Ship, actually. I think that was kind of like I was going to check it, and I was like, wait, like, I can just decide not to, and go through Wreck Ship, and like, odds are really good that I get spit out where I want to. The only downside was then I didn't get the farm, because I really wanted to farm some ammo. So I would have been able to farm if I had gotten down to check Croc, because there's that farm right next to the Bubble Mountain area. That would have taken a couple of farms and then had an easier Dragon fight, and then probably not had such ammo problems later in the game. Yeah, I even picked up a missile at Spooky Missile because it made my Dragon fight enough better to be worth picking up. But yeah, the ammo in that seed was just really rough. Like the ammo was also bad because there were just so many missiles. Like not a ton of supers in that seed. Like if it gave you charge and then it also gave you a bunch of supers without any beams, that's like fine. You just keep picking up the supers and then you're like totally fine not having another beam. But it just like kept being missiles. And it was like, I don't want to pick up missiles when I have charge. Like,
yeah.
If you get any other beam, then they're like time loss, and even if you don't get any other beams, then they're like very close to time neutral. So it's like, yeah, because like I think that with Ice Beam, they still lose like a second per missile pickup on Mother Brain. They can be worth it if you like are using them for other things too. Like if you're using them for a Ridley fight or whatnot. I think I probably should have picked up some in Lore and Warfare when I found them to make like my Ridley fight better. But maybe not, because like even then like farming might just be better than that. Like, and my Ridley fight was such a disaster that seed too. I missed a bunch of stuff and then had to use power bombs and then missed some more and then had to use more power bombs. And it was not fun.
I think I had 40 supers going into the fight that seed. So
Yeah, I think you did it way later than I did.
yeah, well, you said you went to LN really early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt a lot better about the first seed. The first seed I felt like was one that like I just felt like it was a seed that I was really strong in, kind of like that's the kind of seed that I want to see when I'm racing.
I'm a little upset. So I had to play like in the mid game where instead of going up to pre-aqueduct, I went down into Meridian map because I knew ship was there, and at that point I knew that Green Bryn had to be at the front of ship because I'd already seen the loop at Chronic and Croc, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I knew Green Bryn didn't loop on itself. And I'm kind of sad because if I had thought like one step further, I would have realized like, oh, Green Bryn also connects to pre-aqueduct. Then I would have gone up that way, checked Mama Turtle on the way because I was playing really thorough, hit Gravity or hit Varia, and then probably gone back down and like full god ratted the seed from there.
I don't think that you could know that Wreck Ship was there.
Well, I
Wreck
had
Ship could have
checked,
been a
I had checked it
pre-aqueduct.
before.
Yeah, derb already knew.
Oh, you had already checked it. Okay,
Yeah,
so you
I
already
saved,
knew.
scummed
Okay,
it.
okay.
I think that was what you were thinking about with the Croc save, Web, because I did that in game 1 to scum that portal.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I was in chat championing that play, especially like I said for Derp who knew about the wreck ship. For Zeb, I also thought it was possible to turn around at wreck ship, but you know it's different because, like you said, Derp had just gotten, or not Derp, Zeb, you had just gotten the information about where the 3 Green Brim portals were, so it wasn't as clear cut. But yeah, that first seed, the variable.
I think once you're there, you really want to do the boss and just go through. Because like, I was thinking about it like when I was doing it, and this is a little bit ago now, so it's a little hard for me to remember. But like, I was thinking it routed really well into the end game, to like do the Green Bryn into like East Meridia, which you know is also there, into like finishing kind of like.
Yeah.
It just felt really good to me, doing that.
It was kind of, I mean, it was a loop one way versus loop the other. The best part about the way that you all did it was obviously the ice beam.
But I think that if you like
east, but yeah.
So if you go to pre-aqueduct, it's a little awkward. I feel like because like, well, it kind of works out because you didn't end up being able to kill Dragon anyway, so you didn't want to go through, East Meridia. But I liked doing wreck ship back to front, like because if you go to pre-aqueduct, then you do East Meridia, and you're kind of forced to go like front to front at that point. Like you can't go all the way through. So you're kind of like dipping into one boss area to then like leave to go to another boss area instead of being able to like go all the way through one boss area to go like kind of all the way through another boss area, which is like a route that I was really thinking about. And again, it didn't really work out because Dragon, I think, was at the last area. It was in Lore Warfare. Yeah,
that's how it worked.
So it didn't end up like playing out like that, but that was something that was really on my mind during that. But yeah, like I felt really good. Like once I killed Ridley in Wreck Ship, I was all like, okay, I'm like in go mode, and I almost didn't even check Brinstar Reserve. Like I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't really need anything here. Like
Powerbomb would be great.
Yeah, it would have been really nice, but like I didn't really need it. So I was like, I felt kind of bad about checking it. And then I skipped everything else. Like other than, of course, Charge Beam. Charge Beam is like the one that you have to check, but yeah, like that. I was pretty happy to find Grapple there though, too, at Brinstar Reserve. So, although I didn't really end up using it.
Yeah, with no Varia, you kind of couldn't hit Dragon, so that makes sense.
I mean, I had Microwave too. So it's just better to microwave trade again than.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, GG's to both of you. Any last words before we close this off?
I guess looking forward to my rematch with Cutie. Thanks Derp for the races. Thanks to the commentators, D-Web and MM2, and thanks to Drestro for tracking, as well as to Hockey for commenting Game 1. Gonna have to listen to that one back, but yeah, fun races. Well, the first race was fun. The second one was kind of miserable. But
Second one,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, GG's to Zeb. A little sad that I'm done in the tournament, but I hit top 4. I'm really happy about that. I think this is the best I've done in a solo rando tournament, at least a major one. So I'll do one spot better in the next one.
Don't set
Yeah.
your sights so low, Derp.
Yeah, well, GG's to both of you. Great races. Definitely glad I got to commentate them. Thanks to Jestro for tracking. Thanks to everybody for participating. I'll let DJ Webb close it off.
Alrighty, if you are still with us in chat, make sure you click on those links. Give our runners a follow if you enjoyed the show that they put on for you. If you feel so inclined, you're also free to follow the commentary team. We've been saying that we want to maybe get this tournament wrapped up within the next week or so. So we have 2 matches left. Losers finals, like we said, Zeb versus Cutie, a rematch of their winners semis bout. Winner of that on the Sloters. And yeah, we're winding this thing down. Hope you've all enjoyed this tournament, and will be with us until its conclusion. And with that, we will see you next mission.